Hey everybody, Spy Expressing here. Thanks for tuning in. This is my 4 key books and where to find them video. I'll bring to you one book from Marvel, one from DC, one from an independent publisher, and one really wild FOMO pick to think about. The whole purpose of this series is to put some books on your radar and show you where you can find them in relatively high grade for a reasonable price. So let's take a look at the first book on this list from DC Comics. And DC, as you probably know, is really undervalued right now. And they've got a lot of upside with James Gunn coming on and hopefully putting some of his magic that he did for Guardians of the Galaxy and Peacemaker TV show and bringing it to DC. So the first book that we're going to look at right now is going to be Booster Gold #1. So here we are over on Facebook, and Booster Gold issue #1. This came out in 1986. This has the first appearance of Blackguard, who's actually, I think, a character in the second movie of Suicide Squad. I think Pete Davidson played that character. And then Skeets, the little robot guy. I think he's right there on the cover. But Booster Gold and his little buddy Skeets, a little computerized friend, appear in this book. And this is their first appearance. Now, Booster Gold becomes a pretty good close bud to Blue Beetle, and there is a Blue Beetle movie coming out soon. I'm not sure how close he is to the Jaime Reyes character as he is to the Ted Kord character. Seems like he's more of a Ted Kord guy, but I think he's also friends with Jaime Reyes, so it's possible Booster Gold may appear. Booster Gold is also kind of in that same line of the James Gunn humor, a relatively obscure hero, and he's got a pretty interesting backstory that I think would fit in well with James Gunn. This book is $25. They've got $3 shipping, and I think they indicate here that they ship it in a, let's see, do they say if they ship it inside a, I don't know. It's the person that's selling it is Tim Jackson. Doesn't mention anything about a Gemini mailer. It might be a good question to ask. But let's take a look at the book itself. I can't really zoom in much on it here on Facebook, but you can see there's a little bit of a waviness to the book. The book's not been pressed, but the corners look pretty solid. There are no really obvious visible color breaking spine ticks on the spine. I don't see any other color breaks on this book. This is not a newsstand edition, and you can find a newsstand edition. Some of the lower price ones are about 60 bucks. For 25 bucks, I think this is a hell of a pickup. The back side, you can still see that little bit of that waviness from the front. Back corners look solid. Might be some little issues here and here. So, this might be one that might be worth extracting the image and then blowing it up on your computer to take a look at it a little bit more. But I think for $25, this is a great pickup. This is a character that has a lot of great future potential in the James Gunn DCE universe, because they're going to start from scratch and they're going to bring in new people and probably new characters. So I recommend this one here to you. It's Booster Gold #1. $25, and it's being sold on Facebook by Tim Jackson. So go out there, get out there and get it. See if you can get it. I think this is a good pickup. The next book on this list for this week from an independent publisher is from Mad Cow Publishing, and it is Battle of the Planets #1, the Holofoil cover. If you don't know much about Battle of the Planets, it was actually a children's television show that came out late 70s, early 80s. I think it originated in Japan and then was dubbed into English. But it was a pretty good show. I enjoyed it quite a bit as a kid growing up. And if you didn't know this, the Russo brothers, they're the ones that did Infinity War and Endgame. They have the rights to make Battle of the Planets into a movie. And they're working on the script, and apparently the ball is rolling on that project. So I think this would be a great book for you to add to your collection at a great price. So let's take a look at one right now. Here we are at eBay, and we have Battle of the Planets. It is a lot of 6 books. They are covers 1A, 1B, 1C, 1D, 1E, and I believe 2A. Not sure why they call it 2A. Well, I guess it's this one right here. It is issue number 2. The seller is Witty 12. They only have 55 sales, which is not a whole lot. This is actually not a buy it now. It's a listing, and I don't believe anyone is watching, and no one has placed a bid. And you could walk away with all 6 books for a total of what looks like $22. So just under $4 a book. I think it's a great, pretty good price to pick up a bunch of those books. So let's take a look at the first one. This is the Holofoil book. This is issue number 1, Holofoil cover, and it looks fine. It looks great. Everything about it that I can tell looks fine. I can see the bottom staple. Can't quite see the, oh, there it is. I can see the top staple. Looks good. The other cover, 1A, it's got some black bordering, which would definitely pick up any type of color breaking, and I don't see any fingerprints or color breaking issues there. Let's look at the next 2 books. Edges look fine. There are no photos outside of the bag, unfortunately, but these books look great. And this series, I believe, came out in 2002. So all 3 pairs look pretty good. Books look great. And then here's issue number 2. And great covers. Just great covers. So there you have it, $12. I think this will probably be relisted soon. And so I would look for this particular listing, and I'd bid that minimum and pick it up for $22 for all 6 books. Now, if for some reason you can't find this listing, I do have another one for you. It's right here. It's just the Holofoil variant cover, and the shipping on this one is free. So that's what's great. Championship Edition Gaming. Let's see if it pops up. Nope, it's not going to pop up. They are selling, they have 100% positive feedback, and they've done over 3,000 sales. So they're saying the book is like new and excellent condition. And let's take a look for ourselves. So just running along the top edge, that top left corner looks fine. I don't see any issues around the logo or the top cow publishing. This upper right hand corner, I do see it could be reflection or it could be scuffing on the actual bag, but there looks like a kind of a small haze, like a little line there. Going down that right side, I think we're just we have the first page is just peeking through the cover a little bit. I think that edge does look fine. I don't see anything else there. The bottom corner, I do see those 2 dots. Not sure exactly what those are. Can you see what I'm talking about? The bottom right hand corner. But again, that could be the plastic bag. So this might be one you might want to ask, see if they'll remove it from the bag. All in all, I don't see any other issues. The Holofoil cover doesn't look scratched. Looking at the images look good. So it's in pretty good shape for a book that's, I think, 20 years old now. So there you have it. There are 2 copies that I've found for you on, they're both on eBay. One from Championship Edition Gaming, I think, and it's this Holofoil cover, and then the other one is a lot of 6 books for $12. So see if you can pick that one up. That listing pops up again. See if you can pick it up, and I think you'll have a pretty good pickup for your collection. And I think it's not a bad. I think this is not a bad spec book, given that we may see Battle of the Planets in the next few years coming out on the big screen. This week's featured book from Marvel is Avengers number 187. This is the origin of the Darkhold. And the way Doctor Strange 2 ended up, we really don't know much about the Scarlet Witch, but if she comes back madder than ever and fully possessed by the Darkhold, this book would be a key book to have in your collection. So let's take a look at one in greater detail right now. All right, so here we are at Mercari.com, and this is a eBay-like seller portal that I like quite a bit. And we have Avengers 187 for sale. It's listed right now at $28. $6.18 is the delivery fee. Gibby's Comics, they have 5 stars and they have 246 sales. So it looks like a pretty good seller. This book was posted on September 12th, so it's been there a long time. And they want $28. I would think you could easily get it down to 25. 20 would be stretching it, but maybe 22. I don't know. 22, $23. It's possible. So let's take a look at some zoomed in images of the book. And let's start with this one. I like this book right off the bat because it's listed as a newsstand, which is incorrect. This is actually what a direct edition looked like in the 70s. And you can see it's got that slash going right through the barcode. So this is actually the more rare version of the book. Newsstands were pretty much all the books back in the 70s were newsstand copies, and the direct editions were the more difficult ones to find then. So this is one, and so that's why I think this book to me carries a premium. So let's zoom it in and take a look at the edges here, this bottom left corner. Looks like there's a little bit of a spine roll in it, but all in all, the corner, this edge looks nice and straight. Something going on right here. Not sure if that's a crease or a fold. The corner does not look creased or color broken, but it does look like it's bending. And I am particularly impressed with the spine. I think the spine looks great. Colors of the cover look great. Top corner or top edge looks pretty good. Let's take a look at this bottom left corner in more detail. They've given us a nice zoomed in photo. And so now we can see a little bit, there's just some little hairline color breaks. Not even sure if those are color breaks, but you know, there's some stuff, you can see some stuff going on. The bottom edge looks great. A little bit of a fold right here. Let's go to the next image, upper right hand corner. I'm not sure if this is just a poor cut or what, but this is a little close to the top in my, you know, for my preference. I don't really like books that are cut this high. I don't like to see the comic code this high, but just, you know, it was poorly cut. And there's a little bit of you can see the cover sort of wraps over a little bit. This definitely needs a press. It's not been pressed, and I'm sure it's probably not been cleaned. So here's a zoom in look at this corner. Not sure if it's color breaking or not, but it looks like it's just kind of rolled over. I think the rest of the books looks pretty good, so my guess is that the corner is still probably pretty solid. It's a little bit of a dirt area there, a little residue. It needs to be cleaned up. Some folds, you can see some little spine tick creases there. There's a crease here, but it does not look like it's an actual color breaking crease, or you know, where it sort of creates that little line that goes through the white. The back, it still just looks like it needs to be cleaned up a little bit. I see a little bit of residue up. Let's see if we can get a better image of this upper right hand corner. Looks, both sides look dark, but it could be just the lighting of during the photography. Bottom left corner, giving us another look at it. And that edge looks good on the back. No writing of any type inside the prize sign up thing. You know, some folding, not sure what's going on. Something looks like a little bend right up here, like maybe a finger bend. Might be a little bit of dirt. But it doesn't look like it's water damage or anything like that. We got another zoom in on the top. No rust on the staple. Staple looks good. And this corner looks pretty good. Something going on right in here, you can see. And I think we have one more image. Again, they give us that. I think it's a bottom right hand corner. You can see like a little bit of pressure on that. But I think all these little issues right here would clean up very nicely
if you're able to clean and press your own comics, I think this would be uh, one that you could definitely get done pretty easily. So, like I said, this is part of the this Witch on Wundagore Mountain. Fits in perfectly where Doctor Strange 2 left off. I think this image of, we have a number of Avengers hanging upside down. I think it's kind of an iconic image, and this John Byrne art is really awesome. So I think this is a great pickup. I think you can get it for less than $28 because it's been listed for so long from Gibby's Comics. And so this is the one that I recommend you go out and pick up. It's Avengers 187, the origin of the Darkhold, and I think you can get it for less than 28 bucks.
All right, here it is. It's the FOMO pick of the week. This one's a nutty one. I'm going to tell you, you guys are crazy out there. But the book this week that I'm going to show you, let's take a look at Peter Parker Spectacular Spider-Man, number 24. And it is the first appearance of the Hypno Hustler. Yes, it is. This book is our FOMO of the week because the rumor is that Donald Glover and I think the son of like Miles Murphy, who is the son of Eddie Murphy, are in the works on trying to put together a movie featuring the Hypno Hustler for the Sony Spider-Verse. So let's take a look at a book right now. Again, this is one that I think is a little sketchy, and I don't know about this one, but let's take a look at some because right now this book is pretty hot.
All right, eBay brings us back to our final book for this week, and it is Peter Parker Spectacular Spider-Man number 24. And the one that I have for you is this one from New Garage Sale. Maybe if this was a garage sale pickup. I'm telling you, this was a dollar bin book. I still think it is, but right now people are going crazy. They really think that something might happen with this character. Honestly, I think it's a joke. I think Donald Glover and Eddie Murphy's son are pulling some kind of a goofy joke on everybody. I don't know why we would focus on such an obscure character like this. What comes to my mind when I see Hypno Hustler is the Music Meister from Batman Adventures, which is actually a pretty good episode, like an award-winning episode. So here's one I think is a pretty good copy, $59.99. I am going to tell you right now, run from this FOMO. But if you've got to pick up this book, I think this is a pretty good copy for the price. A lot of the books that are less than this look pretty trashy, and I didn't really see anything out there. I don't think there are any direct editions of this book. I couldn't find any. So just looking at the bottom left corner and around the barcode area, everything looks pretty good. Running up the spine, I don't really see any spine ticks. I see maybe a touch of a spine tick right above this gal. If you look on the left side where my pointer is, and then running up the side around the Spider-Man logo on the bar on the left, I don't really see any issues with this book. Um, Running across the top edge looks pretty good, maybe a little bit of wear, and I think the only issue that I can really see is this upper right hand corner has a real small color breaking crease. Yeah, it's very, very small, and I think the length of it is probably about an eighth of an inch, and I think you still can receive a 9.2. Not positive, but I think you can still receive a 9.2 if that's the only issue with the book. Running down the right-hand side, no issues on that edge that I see, and the bottom right corner looks a little bit. I don't know if it's been a little bit crushed or it's difficult to see. It doesn't look so great. But let's take a look at the zoom pictures. You can see there's a better close-up of that top right corner. And let's just go to the next one. This is a nice image. Not sure what's going on. I guess that's on the edge there that you can sort of see some writing. I think that's that Marvel Comics group on that edge. I think that's common with these books. You can sort of see that. I believe that's a little bit of a color breaking spine tick right next to the far left singer. But the bottom corner looks pretty good. This is, seller did give us a lot of nice pictures. That corner looks much better now in this image. Let's take a look at the next one. Look at the inside pages. No water damage. Maybe off-white to white. Back cover. Thank you. Back cover looks pretty good. A little bit of a miswrap on this. Alexa, turn off the timer. Let's take a look at the next page. Yeah, that top left corner looks fine. Probably definitely in need of a cleaning and a press. And yeah, a little bit of gunk or some dirt right there. The spine looks a little dirty. There's a little bit of a spine roll there. A little bit of a crease right here on the bottom right. You can see a little bit of dirt. Just looks dirty to me. Needs to be cleaned up. This edge looks all right. A little bit of a fold there. You can see a little bit of residue. I don't know if that's a bend or if it's just a cleaning issue. And let's see what's the next image here. We're looking at, oh yeah, there's some finger bends at the bottom. You can see them with a better resolution with the zoomed in picture. It was nice of them to include that. So back to the top. See if I can get all the way back to the beginning. This is the one I recommend, but honestly, I don't think you should do this. I just wouldn't touch this FOMO right now with a 10-foot pole. $60 for this book. I think this is a dollar bin book. I think it's going to be a dollar bin book in 5 months, maybe a year. I really don't believe the hype around this Hypno Hustler spec.
Hey, thanks for watching, and thanks for making it this far in the video. Please hit the like button and consider subscribing to this channel. If you like more comic book related content, check out these links that I've got on this page. And you know what? Happy hunting.